guys, welcome back to another bookish video. Today is going to be a review of, drumroll, Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. Now, this book is relatively new. I forget the exact date that it came out, but it is very new. It was all over the place. I know it was it was Al Crate's May book. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this book. However, on Goodreads, I did see that it has a 4.01 rating overall of everybody's reviews. So I definitely felt the need to have a discussion about this because of the fact that it seems to be one way or the other. Now, I believe that has something to do with the way this book was advertised. Sky in the Deep was advertised as a Wonder Woman meets Viking. Okay. Now, in case you don't know, Sky in the Deep was advertised as Wonder Woman meets Viking, which for many people, that combination got them very excited. It got people interested. This book was hyped. Everybody wanted to know about it, wanted to read it, yada yada yada. However, the more detailed description of this book is we follow a girl named Eelyn who is a part of a community called the Aska. The Aska are at war with another tribe called the Riki, and every 5 years, the two tribes come together for what is called the fighting season. So every 5 years, these clans collide, they fight, people die in this war, and so therefore the Aska and the Riki are eternal enemies. They believe in different gods, have different religions, different afterlife philosophies, very reminiscent of some things going on today. However, in this world, it is Viking-esque, as in there's clans, there's tribes, there's a lot of using axes and just overall tribal feelings to it. However, I do believe that because this book was advertised with the Wonder Woman meets Viking, people were expecting a totally different book out of this story, which I actually pretty much agree with. I was kind of disappointed because I didn't get the Wonder Woman feelings that were being so pushed with this book. I did get some badass, hard-ass feelings from Eelyn, however, they weren't nearly as strong as I would expect from a Wonder Woman tale. I mean, those are very, very beautiful shoes to fit into. Now, sticking to the non-spoilerly, you guys know I have so much trouble with that word. Overall, I did give this book a 5-star rating because I did thoroughly enjoy it. Even though it didn't meet every expectation, the story that was there and laid before me, I did enjoy. Another way to accurately describe Sky in the Deep is that it starts out in the very first couple of pages we learn Eelyn's brother is dead. She believes he has been dead for the past 5 years. However, we open this book in the middle of the fighting season where she sees her brother is fighting for the Riki. Now, obviously, in a world where religious beliefs and you are very clearly enemies, this is a problem. And it's not spoiler in any way. You literally learn this in the first 10 pages. So that being another aspect of this book was very intriguing and left me wanting to know why her brother Eerie was fighting with the Riki and why she wasn't with him. The overall arcing question of why. So that kept me intrigued throughout the story. I personally am one that I really enjoy the changing of allegiances and fighting your right path kind of story arc. I really enjoy those. I find them very inspiring for my own life. After going through some of the comments on Goodreads, I have seen a lot of people saying that this story was just find every YA stereotype and spit it back out. I do not agree with that, although I am sucker for typical cliche things, but I do believe that this story had its own twist to it. I believe, unlike other YA stories that are similar to this, I do believe Sky in the Deep introduced more of a religious aspect to this and more of a modern day twist, as in there's two groups of people, they view the world completely different, and therefore they are using that to fight against each other. However, in other similar YA books, it's usually more of a they just generally don't like each other, somebody was killed because of X, Y, and Z. There's usually not much of a modern twist put into the YA books, and I do thoroughly enjoy that, and I do like learning about modern issues in a different light, such as a YA fantasy book. If you like books where somebody becomes more accepting, you have a strong heroine. If you like the long lost family member, I highly recommend this book to you. If you like fighting scenes and just the typical imagery that comes with a YA fantasy book, I thoroughly recommend Sky in the Deep to you. However, if any of those things kind of give you a problem, you might want to stay away from this one. Moving into some spoiler issues towards the back half of this. If you haven't read this, go away now. However, if you have read it, feel free to stick along. Stay along. Feel free to continue watching this video. So as I said before, I am a sucker for some of the cliche typical YA things, such as Eelyn, where she has a normal life, she believes she is strong, she believes she is powerful, and then she gets thrown into a situation where none of that matters, where she gets captured and becomes a, I always say this wrong, she basically becomes a servant. And that is the part where I really like thrive, because I like seeing characters ripped down to their absolute bottom. Once again, going through the Goodreads reviews, I saw a lot of people were shipping Eerie and Fiske, and while I am all there for that relationship, I, however, from the very start, shipped Eelyn and Fiske, only because of the fact I feel like it would have been kind of weird, because throughout this entire book, we are being told how Fiske and Eerie are brothers, they love each other like brothers, and yes, I understand some YA books that develops into something more. However, here, I feel like it would have been a little awkward and a little forced. I do understand the argument that Eelyn and Fiske were forced, but it's also one of those that you can kind of see it from the start, to where he's going to warm up to her and care about her. I really enjoyed the scene where Fiske actually opens up and acknowledges to Eelyn that he messed up and that him shooting her in the shoulder with the arrow was wrong, and he acknowledges all the things he did wrong, but he also explains that if he hadn't have shot her with the arrow, somebody else would have just flat out killed her. If he didn't purchase her as a servant, someone else would have done so much worse to her. While he acknowledges his actions are bad, he's also acknowledging that how they're so much worse, which is a wonderful thing to see in a character, is seeing them understand that what they did was wrong, but also understanding that they had no other choice, which I believe is something that readers really look over, is readers will see, oh, this person made a horrible decision, how dare they have happiness, how dare they end up with somebody, but at the same time the character acknowledges, I did wrong, that was not okay, which makes them so much more relatable. We all screw up, we all make mistakes, it's just a matter of acknowledging that yes, that was wrong. I also cannot wait to see if there's going to be another book for Sky in the Deep, because the end battle, while we ended with the Heria being wiped out, I do believe the story still has more to offer, whether that's another tribe somewhere, or to see the Riki and the Aska after coming together, to see how all of that really pans out, because there's no way that is an easy transition from separate to together. Because of the attitudes that were shown throughout the book, there's no way these two tribes come together and there not be some conflict, and I feel like Adrienne Young could totally write another book, and I would be totally there to read it. Guys, make sure you let me know some of your favorite parts, or maybe not your favorite parts, of Sky in the Deep down below. I want to have a discussion about this. Let's talk, let's go back and forth. That's all I have for you guys today, though. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Be sure to give a big thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and as always, guys, stay awesome, and I will see you guys next time.